hallway leads us somewhere. Okay, let's see if this is a bug in their code or if this is a secret level. You know what I mean? Because as I said, I do code. I find it funny when I read articles about other games. There's one game, I forget what game it is, that the entire game coding would fall apart if they took a tomato out of the game. A tomato has nothing to do with gameplay or story or anything, but the entire coding would fall apart if they took a tomato out of the game. And I think about that constantly because random crap like that does happen. Like, last time I was coding, it said that I had error on line 132. I only had 130 lines of code. How do I have an error on a line that doesn't exist? You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to look at it like, you know what, just leave the tomato. It's not hurting anybody.
Yeah, true. Okay. An-Jenea?
Well, I don't stream yet.
Okay.
I'm going to start next month.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Are you procrastinating?
No.
I'm not
We're getting her prepared.
Okay.
Equipment,
Technical difficulty.
technical difficulty,
Okay.
getting her prepared.
That's just me then.
Yeah.
Let's have the 3 color bars pop up on screen.
Technical difficulty. But like Sam said, being on set is different. We do have other people to bounce off of, but I do make content for my TikTok. So that's something. It's very difficult being in front of the camera. I feel because I have to interact, but trying to be more comfortable in front of it is that's one of the reasons I decided to be a part of Gameplay Squad because I was like, if I'm gonna make content for myself, I need to be more comfortable in front of the camera because I really like being behind it. I don't really like being in front of the camera, but so it's something to overcome that happened.
I feel that. I think it's the most interesting thing that I feel like everyone that streams or it's like almost everybody that's on camera is like, I have such bad anxiety about being in front of a camera. Like, and you're doing it anyway, though.
Right,
So
and that's the thing.
that's
If you're
fair.
scared to do it anyways.
Yeah, yeah, that's just what our speaker said earlier. You know, if you're scared to do stuff, try it anyway. Just do it. All right, Krystal?
I live in front of the camera.
So that's the
My
problem.
job is to model. My job is to showcase people's clothes. My job is to sing in front of the camera. My job is to do videos. I just did a movie. Yeah, I'm always in front of the camera. You know, I have my certain angles. This must be exact. You know, that kind of thing. So definitely not afraid of the camera at all.
So actually, since you're like our one person, including myself, who's like not afraid of the camera, what advice would you give to people that are, or like, are new to being in front of the camera?
Well, for me, I had to get out of it because as a singer, people want me to sing. So I'm not thinking about the camera, but after you look at the camera, after singing, I learned about it. I just say, just do it. That's my thing. I used to tell myself, girl, just sing. Don't worry about the camera, just sing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I told myself. Just do it.
I like that.
Just do it.
Just like Nike.
Yeah, it's like Nike.
Just do it. All right, and then the last question I wanted to throw to y'all is, how do you feel like what you're doing right now, like either in your personal life, I love like each one of you have kind of like connected it to what you're doing, Game Party Squad, and that is really fulfilling, but I notice sometimes in life that can be difficult. I know we're always telling girls and kids, period, follow your passion, and y'all are all like pretty much doing it. An-Jenea, you're about to take your exam, graduate, and you have your background in the military. Samantha, you're coding, you're familiar with game development, which is amazing. I'm like, that's super difficult. You know, Krystal, your music, your acting, all of that. How, and this might be like a crazy question, but how are you finding yourself able to do that in your everyday life?
One thing I'm going to say, I am a very busy woman. Okay? I have to keep accountable to tell me I need to take a nap. I have to have, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of have to keep yourself in order. I know I do because I love order. You will get busy. Just like I tell my daughter, she goes to Baton High School. She's a very busy girl.
Hold on,
Yeah,
yes.
she does.
Yeah.
With your baby girl.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's okay. That was
Yes.
good. What was the question?
Your baby girl.
How are you finding yourself, like, able to do?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So having a support team for sure, you know what I'm saying? It might not be your parents, it might be a friend, somebody who doing the same thing you doing. Try not to be around people who are not doing what you are doing because it's going to distract you, okay? Sorry to say it, but too much fun, it distracts you. Like if you're having too much fun, stop for a second. Make sure you got everything in order because in my life, to me, it's always a party. I guess because I'm always performing for people, blah, blah, blah. I just did the Lucy bag, so that was all over the place. So, oh girl. I also have my nonprofit, which I'm very passionate about. It's called Hearts for the Homeless. So what I do is I like to bedazzle everything. Like I love sparkly things. I like everybody to be neat and cute. So I decided to have a nonprofit called Hearts for the Homeless, where I go and I feed people who do not have food, give them clothes, shoes, purses, like all the good stuff. You know, I do that every year. That keeps me busy. So basically just keeping everything in order, keeping your calendar on the wall. You're gonna be busy, it's okay. It's okay, it's best to be busy than laying on the couch and not doing nothing with yourself. Because basically, see how this woman you got going on. But just imagine yourself years later, sitting in this seat or that seat, where you wanna be and how you wanna do it. And get started with it early. Like do it early, just do it. So yeah, you're gonna be busy. Don't think you're gonna be busy. Don't pull your hair out your head like I tell my daughter. But she play volleyball, she makes straight A's, she work, she helps the school, and she gets really busy. But if I take one of them away from her, she's gonna be upset. You see what I'm saying? So you just you have to keep everything in order. It's gonna help you out.
I feel like you're preaching to the choir, because like that's something that we're hearing a lot from our speakers, and I remember I think I had talked to Janelle and Taylor about it before when I was in high school and people were telling me these things. I was like, whoa, I should have really internalized it and listened, because I'm like, now I'm 30 and I'm doing all the things they told me do right now, do while you're in high school, like do while it's like easy and free, like explore, express yourself,
And
try
they might
things.
not really be listening, but they hear us.
Yeah.
So later on in life, it's gonna be they be like, okay, this must be what she was talking about. They go ahead and get started on it.
Yes.
And don't let the friends, please, y'all be friends.
You
They
are
get jealous.
the 5 people that you have around you the most are who you take qualities from.
Yes. And if you're doing something that's like above them, not saying that you're better than them, they might be jealous of you. You got to be careful on that. You got to be careful on who you're around. It's really serious. And I know all y'all got it going on. I can tell you, y'all very smart. Everybody is I'm done. Don't be quiet.
All right, I'm gonna throw that back to, so Samantha, you with coding and like everything else you're doing, crocheting, art, design, like how is that for you being able to just do that every single day?
Okay, so like her, I also keep a schedule that tells me when to take a nap, but it's because I have ADHD. So it's, for me, it's flip a coin. What are we doing? What do we feel like doing today? You know what I mean? Some days I feel like starting and finishing an entire crochet project. You know what I mean? Some days I'm doing 4 different projects. Some days I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start coding this, and then I have a notebook full of things that I want to be included, but if I don't finish, I'll be able to go back to this notebook. You know what I mean? So if you're like me and kind of all over the place, I want to say either, because like I write fan fiction, and that helps me keep all my things kind of linear, you know what I mean, for the storyline for my games, you know? So when I write, it's not just, oh, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. It's this happens, this happens, this happens, you know? So it's more linear, and you can tell in the actual gameplay when the game gets done that it was more linear. But also at the same time,